Hi, this is Subramaniam Shankaran. Now, these are the principles for the data protection, be it GDPR, okay, be it PDPL, KSI, be it DPDP India, okay, the PDPL, Singapore, okay, whatever it is. Most of the countries which have implemented or they're going to implement the data protection. Okay, it's actually based on seven principles. Lawfulness, fairness, and transparency is the first one. Lawfulness. We need to collect the data from the data subject in a lawful way. If I do a SQL injection attack on a website and retrieve the information out, that is illegal. That is, it's unlawful. The lawful way is to collect it directly from the data subject. Okay. What is fairness? Okay, there should be an fair requirement for you to collect the data. I go to the hospital, and the hospital collects the data from me because they need to send me an email notification, and they need to send me an SMS notification, contact me, okay, in case the doctor wants to speak to me, okay, or they'll also collect the emergency contact number, okay, for them to reach out to me in case of an emergency. All these things are fairness, transparency, okay. The controller who is actually collecting the data uh, should tell the data subject, okay, why are they collecting the data and what are they going to do. So transparency is a very core principle for the consent that you're going to get from the data subject. Next is the purpose limitation. If the hospital is going to collect the information from the patient, otherwise the data subject, they need to use the information only for that particular purpose. In case they want to send a prescription to the pharmacy, on the patient's name and intimate the pharmacy that the patient will come, okay, to collect the medicine, they need to have a consent from the data subject, okay, or the patient, okay. The data subject in this case is actually a patient. E-commerce company, if they are actually collecting the data, okay, to deliver the goods to you, they need to send you an email notification. So they need to send you SMS notification. Okay, so they will give the consent. Because the purpose limitation, they'll be using it one for that particular purpose. Even if they want to do a marketing, they will only do it. They cannot give your data to a third party for the digital marketing. No. Okay. Now, the e-commerce company, when they are delivering the goods to you, they need to hand over your personal details, okay, the contact details to the third party company, which is going to deliver the goods to you. Okay, so they will receive your consent, okay, before actually doing it. If you're going to say no, then you cannot receive the goods. So there's actually a binding, okay, in this. Okay, you cannot say no. You can say no, but you will not receive the good. If you want to receive the good, you should say yes. Okay, it's really logical, right? So there's a purpose limitation. What is data minimization? Controller should collect the data which is required at the minimal to do something. Okay, usually in my certified data protection officer training, okay, I used to show an example of Schneer.com. I am subscribed to that newsletter, Cryptogram. When you subscribe to the newsletter Cryptogram from Schneer.com, all you have to specify is only your email. It will not ask you for your first name, last name, mobile number, where are you, which part of the world you are in. No, he doesn't need to know that because all it requires to forward a newsletter to you is only your email. That is the data minimization. What is accuracy? You need to maintain the data that you actually come from the data subject as a controller. Okay, accurate. So that means there should be a hash value, okay, for that particular data. If the hash value is actually changing, there should be a file integrity monitor. You will receive a trigger, and the changes should be done only by the data subject after proper authentication. So this is a complete, the complete sketch for the accuracy. You need to maintain it as accurate as possible. Data controller cannot modify the data at all. So the accuracy is actually maintained with the data subject. The data controller will always ensure that it is maintained accurate with the file integrity monitors. Storage limitation. You'll be retaining the data only for the purpose specified. Now, how long you'll be retaining the data is something that nobody knows. Okay, sometimes it's regulatory complaints. Okay, so the regulatory complaint is different from one country to another country. It's also specific. For example, there's a credit card actually given issued by the bank to an individual. You'll be retaining the credit card details for 5 years. So the credit card is valid for 5 years. In case there is a due, okay, and the data subject is actually a defaulter, okay, you will be maintaining the data until it is logically closed. You retrieve the amount and you recover the amount, you actually close it. Now, there could be a credit card with the same 16-digit number, but the name, CVV, issue number, and the validity date will be different. It's impossible to have all the combinations together. No. So you'll be retaining the data, okay, for the credit card for 5 years. If you want to say, no, I will retain it for 6 years, 7 years, specify it. So data retention, it all requires upon the culture of the company and what is the purpose of data retention. Similarly, for the hospital, okay, if the patient is going to say that I want you to delete my data, and if there's an insurance dependency for the particular patient, okay, then you cannot delete the data. So sometimes one moment the patient decides to leave this hospital and to get the medical consultation to a different hospital, he can he can execute his rights to erase the data. If he's going to do it, then you cannot retain the data anymore. But the moment I say the data retention, it's online and offline storage. You're going to have a backup deleted from there as well. So integrity and confidentiality. Okay, so the two of the three tenets of the information security. The other one is the availability. So accuracy and integrity are related. So if you want to maintain something accurate, that means you are ensuring the data is integrity is actually maintained for data. And confidentiality is to ensure that the data is actually not disclosed to the unauthorized person. So you will have physical, administrative, and technical controls to actually do it. Accountability is the ownership. One thing is very clear. If the controller is going to receive the data from the data subject, controller is accountable for the data. Controller might pass on to the data to a processor, sub-processor, depending on the situation after the consent from the data subject. If there is going to be an incident, okay, or a data disclosure, the processor, sub-processor, sub-sub-processor, etc., still controller is actually accountable. I might be I'll send my child to an excursion. The school will actually take him to a lot of places. If he's going to get hurt, let's say in a restaurant where he has gone during the excursion, I will not question the restaurant manager, right? I'm going to question my school, question his school, basically. Okay? So the controller is always accountable for confidentiality, integrity, availability, non-repudiation, possession, utility, whatever it is, with respect to personal data. These are the principles for the data protection. Thanks for watching this video. Stay subscribed for more videos on data privacy and data security. Cheers. Bye-bye.